It's June 2021 and I'm on a train, on a pier, above the River Thames. Essex is the only explanation. There's evidence of people living by the Pritwell Brook at least 10,000 years ago. Over time, the settlement grew into a village of Prittlewell. Towards the southern end of the village, a small community of fishermen grew up, and by the 19th century, this south end of the village had grown into a seaside resort, and the modern Southend-on-Sea was born. With the rise of the package holiday in the 1960s, the tourist numbers dwindled. Why spend your summers wading through the mud of the Thames estuary when you can be on a beach in southern Spain? Southend has seen decline and revival, and on a hot June weekend in 2021, with foreign holidays all but banned because of COVID, you can imagine the heydays of the bustling seaside resort. Perhaps the most famous attraction of Southend is its pier. At 2,158 metres, or 7,080 foot long, it's the world's longest pleasure pier, with the current incarnation originally opening in 1889 as an iron pier, replacing an earlier timber jetty that opened in 1829. The pier was built to overcome the problem of the large tidal range of the Thames, which at low tide prevented ships from mooring close to the land. Many potential visitors were steaming straight past Southend and instead heading to Margate on the Kent coast, so a campaign led by Sir William Heygate was launched to build their own pier right out to where there would always be deep enough water. Ever since that original wooden pier was built, a tramway has existed on it, taking passengers and goods from the pierhead to the shore and vice versa. With the construction of the iron pier in 1890, the railway was upgraded to an electric tramway. The electric trams eventually closed in 1978, but 8 years later 2 diesel trains returned, and it's those, one named for Sir William Heygate, that still run to today. Being such a large, mostly wooden structure, the pier has experienced several mishaps, with fires in 1959, 1976, 1995 and 2005, and in 1986 a tanker crashing into the pier, taking out a chunk of the pier head. Today, the modern pavilion and lifeboat station occupy the end of the pier, and from here there are views across the estuary from Kent to Essex, out the mouth of the river and inland as far as the London Gateway docks near Tilbury. Away from the pier, and the Central Museum charts the history of the area, including remains from the original settlements in Prittlewell, including Stone Age, Roman, Anglo-Saxon and medieval remains, along with the exhibitions on flora and fauna of the Thames estuary and the history of entertainment in the town. During the summer months, the open-top number 68 circular bus runs on a route along the seafront and then up the low cliffs above Southend, Westcliff, Chalkwell and Leigh. Around 20 miles west of Southend is the town of Tilbury, now most famous for being the home to London's port after it moved downstream here with containerisation, but the town has a much longer history, with a small fort being built here by Henry VIII to protect the Thames and the approaches to London. From the fort, Queen Elizabeth I rallied her troops as they prepared to meet the Spanish Armada, and after rebuilding by Charles II, the fort helped to keep the Thames secure right through to beyond the Second World War. Today, the fort has been restored to how it might have looked during the Victorian era. A couple of miles back downstream, and as the Thames widens out in front of a large ridge, a natural high ground with commanding views over the estuary, marshes and islands comes into view. On top is Hadleigh Castle. Originally built in the early 13th century to command the land, it is today a picturesque ruin, not from battle or siege, but from dismantling and poor construction, visible from the large cracks in the walls and the sight of some of the towers clearly slowly sliding down the hill. Southend Central has frequent direct trains from London Fenchurch Street, taking about an hour to make the journey. There are also regular trains from Southend Victoria to London Liverpool Street, taking closer to 90 minutes. Located a couple of miles out of town, London Southend Airport has links to destinations across Europe.